If you've been wondering how to code in Tinkercad, you're in the right place. In this video, I'll show you two different ways to code in Tinkercad depending on what you want to build. If you want to work with electronics, I'll show you Tinkercad circuits and Arduino coding. And if you want to create 3D models with code, I'll show you Codeblocks. By the end of this tutorial, you'll know exactly where to click, what to use, and how to get started fast. And if this helps you out, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more beginner-friendly software tutorials. Let's start with the first method, Arduino coding in Tinkercad circuits. This is the option you want if your goal is to control electronic components like LEDs, buzzers, buttons, sensors, and more. First, open your Tinkercad dashboard and create or open a circuit project. Once your circuit workspace loads, look for the Code button in the top right corner of the screen. This is where all the programming options live. When you click Code, Tinkercad gives you a few different ways to work. You can choose Blocks, which is the easiest option if you're brand new to coding. You can choose Blocks plus Text, which is great if you want to see both the visual blocks and the code they create. Or you can choose Text, which lets you write full Arduino C++ code directly. If you're just starting out, Blocks is usually the easiest way to learn the logic first. Now, depending on the language you choose, you can either drag and drop coding blocks into the workspace or type your own Arduino code. If you're using Blocks, you'll build your program by snapping pieces together like a puzzle. If you're using Text, you'll write the actual C++ instructions that tell the virtual Arduino what to do. Either way, Tinkercad makes it simple to test your ideas without needing any physical hardware. Once your code is ready, the next step is to simulate it. Click Start Simulation, and Tinkercad will run your code instantly in the virtual environment. This is one of the best parts of Tinkercad circuits because you can see exactly how your project behaves before ever touching real components. If your LED doesn't light up, your buzzer doesn't sound, or your sensor logic needs adjusting, you can go back and fix the code right away. That's the basic workflow for coding electronics in Tinkercad. Open a circuit, click Code, choose your coding style, write or drag your instructions, and then start the simulation. It's a great way to learn Arduino programming, test ideas, and practice with circuits in a safe environment. Now let's move on to the second method, Codeblocks for 3D modeling. This is the option you want if your goal is to build 3D shapes using code instead of manually dragging and placing every object. To get started, go back to your Tinkercad dashboard. Then click Create and choose Codeblocks. This opens a different workspace designed for code-based 3D design. Inside Codeblocks, you'll see a menu on the left side with categories like Shapes, Math, and Logic. These are the building blocks of your design. Instead of drawing everything by hand, you drag blocks into the workspace and connect them together to define how your 3D model should be created. This is especially useful if you want to make patterns, repeated structures, or designs that need precise control. As you build, Tinkercad lets you run the code using the play button. When you click play, the model is generated step by step, so you can actually watch your design being created. This is helpful because you can understand how each block affects the final result. If something doesn't look right, you can adjust the blocks and run it again until it looks exactly how you want. Once your design is finished, you can export it. Click Export to save your creation as an STL file. That means you can take your design into a 3D printer workflow and use it for actual printing. So if you're into 3D design, engineering, or making custom objects, Codeblocks is a powerful way to code in Tinkercad without writing traditional text-based code. So to quickly recap, there are two main ways to code in Tinkercad. If you want to control electronics, use circuits and Arduino coding. Open a circuit, click Code, choose Blocks or Text, and start simulation. If you want to create 3D models, use Codeblocks from the dashboard, drag in your logic and shapes, run the play button, and export when you're done. Tinkercad is a fantastic tool for beginners because it makes coding visual, interactive, and easy to understand. Whether you're learning Arduino or exploring code-based 3D design, it gives you a simple way to practice and experiment. If you found this tutorial useful, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next guide. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.